1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2. Wow. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Okay, who is on? Can I see some of the people that are already logged on? One, two, 1, 2. Hey, sorry, everyone. Very, very sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. I mean, just at the last minute, the internet just collapsed. So we had to start sorting out, finding ways to get the internet on so that we are able to connect. But can you guys see me?
We can see you, Apostle.
Okay, so they said they can't see me.
Is it your complexion, Apostle, or maybe it's
I think it has a lot to do with the complexion. You know that already.
If you can see me, then everybody can see.
No, I think you are maybe lighter than I am. You haven't met me. If you see me, I'm next to South Sudan. If you know how people from South Sudan look like, then... so technical team, please, they said they can't see me. Is the camera off or what? But you can hear me. So welcome, everybody. Okay, you can see me? 1, 2, 1. Mic check 1, 2. Okay. You can see the face, eh? Okay. Okay, so let me just say, Pastor Wellington, can you appoint any of the other ministers on the Zoom and let the person open with a word of prayer? I'm very, very sorry for this delay. Just when we're about to start, the thing just went kind of, with technology. But we thank God that at least we're able to do something. So if you can appoint somebody to pray, then we'll start. Yeah.
Jehovah, we thank you for this wonderful day, the wonderful hour that you have given unto us, and the blessings of life that you have given unto us. We have seen, oh Father, your glory. You have seen us, oh Father, leading us in everything that we do, oh Father. In love us, oh God. Father, lead us, oh Father. Open our mind, open our eyes, oh Father. Let us see what they need, oh Father, in your people that want us to carry out to different corners of this world, oh Father. As we lead, oh Father, your wisdom, oh Father, is the only one that will direct. Lead us, oh Father, in everything that we do. Let your light shine. In Jesus' mighty name, Father, we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. I spoke with Pastor Wellington sometimes last week regarding what happened in KZN, and we know the effect is still obviously evident there. You know the story more than I do because you experienced it firsthand, and we just felt, apart from praying, we are sister nations. We border each other, Namibia and South Africa, so we felt, apart from just praying, it to be good for us to see how to have a chat with you guys and find out what's going on, what's on ground, what exactly happened, and you bring us on board so we know, then we're able to share it with other people. There are people that are right now on YouTube that are connected with us. We are on Zoom, the few of us, but other people are watching on Zoom. And I think I shared my page with you guys. So just if you have a way of sending a message to your people to log on to Facebook, Haruna Goro on Facebook, and then the same Haruna Goro on YouTube. They're able to see us now as we continue with the Zoom meeting. So once again, thank you very much. So if I have a few, some clips that I put together, just about a minute and something, just slightly less than 2 minutes, from what I gathered from the things that have happened. We will watch that maybe towards the end when we start bringing people on board, as it has to do with knowing what has happened and where do they come in. So if I may just, by way of introduction, let's know who is who. We already know Pastor Wellington, but you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then the other people too. Let's know who is there. I don't have my computer with me here to be able to see who and who is there, but my tech team knows. So if we can have Pastor Wellington to just get the team introduced. Let's know who is connected online.
Thank you so much, Apostle. We want to just say thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a friend to us, Apostle, and reaching out and just, the care that you have shown us, by, you constantly in contact with us. We can see your love and your support. We appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, Apostle, and Prophetess Titi, and the children there, just the whole church, for what you do and your priceless love for us and always reaching out to us. So thank you for that. Tonight we brought some of our the pastors, not all of them. We brought a few key pastors in the ministry that are in different areas in KZN, that have obviously seen the blood, and some of the areas close to them that have been impacted differently. I will start introducing firstly the couple, which is Johan and Suni. If Johan and Suni, if you can just say, Pastor, it's Evangelist Johan and Evangelist Suni, if you can just say hello to the people and say something very small, then I'll go to the next person.
Hey everybody, this is my wife Suni and Johan, and we are the evangelists. And obviously we're on the ground and we see what's happening there. So obviously, well, we want to bring the word with what we actually bring the resources and everything with us.
Pastor Wellington has he just spoken. And now I know Apostle Aruna is having some issues, there in Namibia. I think with their connection, and when we're about to go on, I think they're having some issues there. But we're gonna carry on. I'm hoping that we are still we're still live, so we're gonna carry on our side and see if how far we'll go. So I'm just asking the technical team here to see if we are still live or if we are off at the moment. So please bear with us as Apostle Aruna tries to set himself up on his side.
I understand I'm still on.
Okay, all right, Apostle.
Yeah.
So we obviously, I don't know if there's any questions you'd like to speak,
Yeah.
ask us, or you want me to start speaking, or you can ask me questions specific, then we'll answer that.
Yeah, I think that what I want to find out, don't give me an in-house, just here. So what I want to find out is what exactly, I know that we heard from the other pastors concerning what happened, So we want to know currently what is the situation of the people, because we saw houses, completely gone, people's property, cars, as you people have said. So what if people want to assist? Where are the areas of need currently, and what can people do? People that are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, what can people do? What are the areas of need right now? Because this is why we put up the broadcast, so that we can connect with people. It doesn't matter whether it's just 10, 50, 100 or more. At least one helping hand here and there will assist. And I know we have a friend of ours that you may know well, and that's Pastor Bishop Sitole, Titus Sitole from Mamelodi. He has a group of pastors, and I was hoping we'll try and see if we can still connect on Zoom so we get to hear. He said they are putting together, they're calling for a whole week of reaching out to pastors in South Africa and see how they can send in relief. But people need to know what are the needs. But we are doing this so that we can also get people from Namibia to also, see what they can do. So but people will need to know what are the areas of need. Apart from cash, what else can they do? Cash and whatever. So let's know, what the extent of the damage, especially on people that don't have the means to start off again.
Apostle, just before I start, if the team can just speak. Apostle, yes, this is not just informal settlements. This is in informal and suburbs and across the board. We've got beautiful homes that were completely swept away by the flood and swept away, where some people died,
as you know, that there was over 400 deaths from the flood. So you can't even explain it to somebody who is not on the ground. But just to get people to understand, it's been catastrophic. It's cataclysmic in its force. The way it destroyed everything, the damages, bridges. I'm talking about national bridges that just sank. A whole bridge just was completely removed, Apostle. So when you're looking even from government side, it's billions to fix the infrastructure. Definitely over R1 billion to do that. But in our case, obviously on the ground, if you look in the areas, people have lost everything. I mean, we were on the ground yesterday. People have lost from a spoon in the kitchen all the way to a house. So the needs are vast. The needs, if somebody says, what do the people need? They need everything. That's the answer. They need everything. They need, if someone can, a blanket to help, a pillow will help, a towel will help, a dish towel will help.
A small TV.
Man, anything that you can get will help. It's these people have got nothing. When I say nothing, I didn't know water can destroy like that. Everything sank underwater. The TVs destroyed, the food destroyed, fridges destroyed. These people need from a fridge, from a spoon, from food to eat. It's catastrophic. Some people need houses. In fact, there's a family that we're actually going to be getting bricks for and building a house. We are building that. I think it's in Pastor Johan and Pastor Suni's area, where they've got there are people there where we're actually in the process of arranging brickwork and building the rebuilding for that home, because you can't even give food because there's no accommodation anyway. So the need is so vast. It's from food all the way to houses. So what we're saying is, if a person gives a spoon, it's welcome. If you give a pot, it's welcome. If you give a bed, people have got no beds to sleep on, it's welcome. So the needs are vast. They're just across the board, very vast.
I don't know if any of can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear.
Is it clear now?
Still low.
Yes, we can hear you, Apostle.
Okay. So is there anything that any of the other people on Zoom, your guys there, anybody wants to bring in another perspective to what Pastor Lamini just said?
Yeah, I think it's more of what Pastor Wellington have said. You look at the people, especially that we've been interacting with, where they actually lost houses. I would say the bigger need is shelter, just to get people to be housed. And those who still have their houses intact, they've lost everything that is in there. Things that you will take simple, like your clothing. People, they had clothes in there, but they've been washed and mixed up with mud. You can actually do nothing out of that. They've tried to wash those clothes and they had to actually destroy, or they look at the clothes that they used to have, but they cannot actually use them. In the house that we're cleaning, I think it was yesterday, you see the need. You actually say, I didn't think that people, they will need pillows. You see people, they need pillows in there, and the guys are saying, we've been sleeping on the floor, the beds have been destroyed. So that's what we're looking at. Shelter, if they have the shelter, and then what else can we provide them instead of like keeping in their houses? Clothing they need, bedding they need, and then there is food. Right now, the infrastructure in terms of water supply, that one has been destroyed. They need that to have water, clean water, drinkable water. Those are the things that they need to be brought in. And any other support, food is a basic need that is needed also.
I also noticed something that's maybe just a normal door. Do you see all the doors that people just take all the doors out? They cannot use their doors.
So that's also for me was quite difficult to look at that, just to see the house stands open. You don't even have a door, just a door at least to close in the front. For me, that was also something to look at as well.
Yeah, and I think in terms of cooking, like there's no electricity at places.
water.
And there's no water. Even in our areas, the water structure is actually completely destroyed outside, where they're busy trying to fix it. But I think definitely, even like we were talking about the gas stoves, that somebody can actually just cook, because even like we were saying where we were cleaning yesterday, the stoves and things are completely destroyed. I mean, the cupboards you couldn't even clean it. There's like pieces of cupboards that we actually had to remove out of the kitchen. Like it's almost like just the outside remaining, but it's so it's like so destroyed that you can wipe it, but you can't really use it. So even in terms of cupboards and even like the bedroom cupboards and things, I think in terms of that kind of thing, it's also definitely a necessity. My English word.
Necessity.
Right.
Another long question.
Yes, I would like to complete that one from Evangelist Sonia and Johan. They said that we even had somebody there who couldn't even communicate because they don't even have a means to charge their cell phones. They can't charge their phones. And yet they're in this situation where they need the help. They need to communicate with the outside world, but they can't charge even their phone. So that came to our mind that even a small generator would be something important. A small generator that can be placed somewhere, with a multi-plug there, where at least they can be charging their phones temporarily because their substations was damaged. So nobody knows when the electricity will be restored in the complex. And you can see, sometimes we think of electricity when it comes to cooking and TVs. Nobody think of a small device like a cell phone, which is, very important to a person. And by the time your phone is low bat, you can't communicate, it's more even depressing than the situation itself. So it's very important also that at least they can have a means of charging their cell phones to a big need for the community. Thank you.
Yeah, so Apostle, look, those are some of the needs, because yesterday we went to do cleanup. We went to an area where we were cleaning up, helping. We went there just to distribute food. When we got there, we realized that we couldn't live without cleaning up, so we had to clean up. There was just a lot. I've not seen so much mud in houses. Everything was destroyed. Cupboards were completely destroyed. The cupboards were, it's that chipboard inside. So when the water goes into that chipboard, it expands and it becomes like plastic or like paper, if you like. And so we literally had to, those cupboards, they're just crumbling and you're throwing them away. Just the dumping alone, Apostle Aruna, just to dump, they need everything from even someone to dump that stuff. I mean, it's like we had to go yesterday and we put in JoJo tanks, which is those huge tanks with water in there. That's how they could clean. Since the flood had taken place maybe easily 16, maybe 15 days ago, over 2 weeks ago, those people had not cleaned anything. No one had cleaned anything. There was no water. We literally, yesterday, we went there with huge tanks with over 4,000 liters of water that we took there, which we actually left in the complex for them to use. That was the only water they would start using to clean. So the cleaning that took place since the flood, we're actually one of the first people to actually clean with them. So the need is urgent. They need everything, but it's also urgent. When a person has got kids, it's so sad when you walk in those houses, you see little books, kiddies books, that are just, you just see, it's stuck on a fridge because there was so much mud that book is wet, and it's, you see a small boy's shoe, that was among us that mud, and so there were kids involved in this whole thing, and it's not even something, I'm saying you have to be You have to have no emotions. When you go there, you can break down because it's so much need. And we're saying that we want, as boots on the ground, as Operation Restore, we want to do our part. If our part is 1%, we want to do that 1% because your gospel is useless unless it manifests into other people's lives. The gospel that you preach has to manifest into other people's lives. You know, our gospel and the power of the church becomes useless and void when the church does not manifest the kingdom of God amongst the kingdoms of the world. I believe, Apostle, that is the kingdom of light. It's our time to go in, and like in Goshen in Egypt, when Goshen was full of light and Egypt was full of darkness. I think it's time for the church to manifest, the sons of and the daughters of God to manifest the kingdom of God amongst these people. So that when we that the church people can know there's the church of God. Not just a church that is big on something else, but not big in touching people. So really, we wanted to be that place, that church that touches people, changes people's lives. And that's what we've tried to do. We have invested quite a lot, and to try to get that done. But what we're saying is every bit of help is needed. We've got really some very, very good friends, and other people here that have been instrumental, in sowing seed to help us to get. But once you go on the ground, it's not enough. When you go in there, you realize, you can do a little bit more for somebody. You can help somebody else. All you need to just give somebody is maybe 2 clean pillows. Just want to give them 2 clean pillows and a blanket, because the pillows are full of mud and they're soggy. They're unusable, if you like. Plus, there's no water. Plus, there's no electricity. Plus, they can't cook. So as we said, if somebody's out there and they say, they want to manifest the kingdom, I believe they can, start wherever they are and say, we are going to sow whatever we have, whether it's in the form, even if they don't want to give money, we understand. If it's a financial seed, it's fine. But we are very much a ministry with integrity. One of the things that Pastor Lisa and I swore when we went into ministry before God, we said this ministry is always going to be sexually pure and financially pure. Those 2 things we made up our minds: sexual purity, financial purity. So whenever we get funds, I've got all my pastors here, we use it for that reason, and we are accountable, and we make sure that it goes back into the house of God. You can walk into the house of God and you can tell there's money in this house because people have gone out of there. We make sure. So even when you give, you are giving on good ground. There's accountability. There's a reporting system we have where every receipt, every slip is audited. We look at it. We see where the money was spent. So when everything is said and done, Operation Restore and boots at the ground will have a report of exactly how much came in, exactly how much we used for what, and what we have remaining. See, that is where we are. We are those people that wants to keep the integrity, so that even those that are giving can see a blessing in their giving, Apostle.
Well, thank you very much for bringing clarity and painting almost a visual picture or perspective of what's happening, especially because you people are there, you experienced it firsthand. We just saw these things on television. We also hearing news. As I spoke with you, we heard what is happening. And I'm telling you, brotherhood is not just in word. We must show it beyond words. And so that's why I felt we needed to do a broadcast. And if there be need to get more people on board, and then we do another broadcast again, follow-up broadcast, just to check where things are at, I think we need, because this is not just a hype, just people getting to jump in on board to help just for a day or 2, because as you people rightly said, people have lost houses, lost everything virtually, apart from just their lives. And then some of them have lost loved ones, maybe just 1 survival or 2. So it's like people don't know where to start. And that's why we cannot just do a one-time broadcast and think it will do it. However, I want to just welcome our online, those that have joined us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're reading your comments. We want to know what you feel about what has happened in Durban and the KwaZulu-Natal area, as you've just heard from the pastors that are online right now. It's beyond words can describe. And just before we go on, I'll try and see if we can get, just before we conclude, it's a pity that we started late because of technical issues. We're trusting God that next time we'll get things right and make sure everything is sorted well ahead of time, so we don't take chances and then, experience what we did today. But thank you, everyone, for your patience. And I want to encourage you, please share the link, the Facebook link, the YouTube link. Share it with as many as you can. Tell them there's something happening. We are receiving an on-ground situation report of what has happened in the Durban area and the general KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa. And here in Namibia, we are sisters, we are brothers and sisters with South Africa. Whatever happens in South Africa has a way of also affecting us, and that's why we don't want to let this thing just be their own thing. Whatever is happening there is also our own issue. That's why we just wanted to hear. So this first broadcast of today is just to hear what are the needs. But we don't just want to end without giving people an opportunity to tap in and see what they can do. And so we have some details of Pastor Lamini, and he knows how Pastor Wellington Lamini and the team of pastors that are on Zoom connected, where you people are also watching us as it is being streamed on Facebook and on YouTube. So I just want to see if we can play just about 2 minutes clip of so you see in pictures what exactly has happened. I mean, there's no way, if we need to play what the entire account of what has happened, we will need to play it for hours and hours and hours, because as we speak right now, people are still having traumatic experiences. But we just want to play this short video clip so that those of you that are online can also just see what in pictures what has happened. So you guys, our tech team, if you can just roll that video clip, and then we'll come back. I'll try and see while the video is playing, see how I can get my pastor friend Bishop Titus Sitole from Mamelodi, so he can tell us what are they doing from their own end, because he leads a group of pastors that are run in hundreds. It's not just his church, but he's already liaising and is mobilizing pastors around South Africa that he oversees. So we hear what are they doing, so we can have him online just to get to connect with him. But this thing is, as I said, is not just a one-time broadcast. We're going to do another broadcast, but to give more people notice, advance notice, and then the pastors that are on Zoom with me will also share with others. And if there's a need to bring in more pastors or more, even business people, people that can contribute, can do one thing or the other, we get them so they get to connect and hear what the needs are. So, tech team, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Okay.
Any English classrooms for leader of the also water picker. Deus é nosso, já tem que de contar no chão. Doze minutos latei. Doze para. Todos parecen para una cuadra. Sería yes, it's one of them. Por eso yo le puedo. Yes. Ahorita casi no tengo.
I think only as I'm swimming.
Ahorita casi no tengo. Thank you, Pastor Wellington.
Pastor.
Yeah, I hope that paints a little bit. I know there's no way pictures here can paint what you people are experiencing their life. But I hope that those of you, I don't know, I hope that tells a little bit.
Yes, it does, Apostle. It does. We are about 3 kilometers ourselves. Where I stay, my house is 3 kilometers from some of that we saw there happening. It happened just down the road from where we are. So we were right on ground zero here. It paints a picture, and it paints part of the picture. As you see, there 12,000 homes destroyed. That's just a lot of homes, and that's a lot of families. I mean, if you try and multiply those families, that 12,000 homes by an average of 6 people in a family. You know what I'm saying? Those are thousands of people that are now destitute. I mean, schools, thousands and thousands of schools were completely destroyed, Apostle, and it's catastrophic in its nature. That's why we were just saying that, look, I mean, as the feet and hands of Jesus on the ground, we need to go out and assist as much as we can. I mean, we are going to do that. I believe that there are good people out there. There are people that have got God's heart out there that are watching even today, that will be able to partner with us and say, boots on the ground, go there and be the boots for us and go and touch families and change families. As we said, it's also time sensitive, Apostle. So we are very, very thankful for you going out of your way doing this, Apostle. Thank you for being a friend, and really being a mentor, and just for who you've been over the years to us, and we appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, Apostle. And yes, there is definitely need for everything, as you saw on those videos.
Thank you, Pastor Wellington, and to those that are on Zoom. I think just let me know if the Bishop Titus Sitole is online.
Yes, he's online. We see him as well.
Okay, so Pastor Bishop, you have a very, very large following apart from your branches, your churches, and I have known you for about 29 years, close to 30 years. If there are pastors in South Africa that, I've been around South Africa, I've ministered in many places. Other people are just concentrating on their primary calling, which has to do with the church or their branches. But I've known you to be a person that when it comes to reaching out and making the gospel relevant to every day's need, where people that don't even come to your church, you reach out and you have different programs that you reach out. You take care, you have a hospital that people come in for free, people that have gone through, almost died, left for dead, HIV, you got different things that you are doing, reaching out to people that are underprivileged, people that do not have what the affluent people have, and you've been hands-on, on ground, reaching out, and you've also been speaking to pastors, not to just be looking inward, but to look outward and see how they can be a blessing. So I also saw where you have something that you are doing just to reach out to the people that have been affected by this flood, and you have something going on with the team, the group of churches that are affiliated and are associated where you oversee. So can you bring us on board? What are you exactly doing right now, and what's the coverage? Because you are in Pretoria, but you are reaching out to the people in KwaZulu-Natal. So if you can just bring us on board on your own effort so far, and how can people also team up with you so that, as the pastors have said, before you came in, they already told us, and at the end, we're going to just play that video again, short video clip, so that we can see. But you are in South Africa, and you know what is exactly happening. That's why you're already reaching out and calling your people and making sure they also send relief. So I don't want to talk too much. You're online, so let's hear from you, Bishop. Your sound. Check your sound. Unmute your.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Well, thank you, Apostle Goro, for the opportunity to share what we're doing in South Africa with regard to the floods in KZN. First and foremost, let me start with our organization. It is called Association of Churches, Ministers and Ministries. And the vision is uniting the churches to provide platform and to speak with one voice. The organization houses pastors, individual pastors, association of churches, fraternals, parachurch organizations, NGOs, as well as reaching out to disasters when there are disasters. So it's an organization that embraces everyone. And so with these floods now, part of the project we have is for ministries. So we have been now talking to all our members, ministries, ministers, and even church organizations that are part of us and those who are not, to collaborate the efforts to make an impact that will be visible in KZN, as compared to this church help 50 people, 20 people, and even the impact is not visible. And so we have a team out in Durban, fraternal, in those affected areas, where they started 2 weeks ago. We've been working together. They went and do the assessment, and now we are ready to hit KZN. So Saturday, we launched a 14-day campaign to collect resources, to be able to go and distribute resources and volunteer. And what I said was, the church is at its best when it does three things: collection, distribution, and volunteer. And this is what makes the church distinct to everyone. As you will all know that in the Bible time, when they were to build the tabernacle, the resources came from people. When they were to build the temple, resources came from people, not from outside, but within. And so we're saying that churches must bring all the resources from within and then go and distribute them. And finally, we are calling on the churches or church members on the 7th of May to descend to Durban, where we will not only do what others are doing, like we have Red Cross and other organizations that are doing great work. They just give a donation. But the church, we want to be hands-on and also provide a hand up. And we're saying to churches, instead, it's not just enough to provide resources, but we need to adopt families for 6 months, where my wife and I and my family will adopt a family in KZN and call them, see them through until they are back up on their feet again. And so what we have done yesterday was to ask pastors in their churches to collect groceries, to collect blankets, food, to collect gas stoves and gas bottles, because we want churches that we are working with in KZN to be able to provide lunches, to provide breakfast, and the churches will alternate. And on the 7th, when we descend, we're going to have four campaigns in different places at the same time, where we will have clinic, where we will have counseling, where we will have home affairs come because people lost IDs and birth certificates, in one area where we will just do a huge impact, and the churches will spread around KZN. So in a nutshell, where we are at now, we have done groundwork, and we want now to go and collaborate the efforts in meeting, helping the people who are hit by the disaster. And lastly and finally, we decided in our group that we're also going to help poor families that are not affected. Poor families that are not affected. Because if we don't help the poor, it may be difficult even for them to help these other ones that are affected. So if the focus is on those that are affected, victims, we will focus on that. But also we are targeting some poor families that the resource we are giving to the affected, we also give it to them. And also we have a section in our what we'll be doing with foreigners, because even foreigners who are affected, they may be afraid to reveal themselves, with what is happening, what is in the air. And as a church, we have the credibility. We will find it in a way that without even exposing people, but targeting the foreigners by way of assisting them, helping them, and those who want to repatriate their bodies back in their countries, see how we will work with Home Affairs and even those that we can assist them. So in a nutshell, it's huge. So I've tried to summarize it in 7 minutes.
Well, I mean, that's why you're a bishop, and that's why you're an overseer, and that's why I'm your friend. But let me tell you, I think Bishop Sithole, you have gone far. I don't know if the government has thought, so far as you already have, but as you already rightly said, these are not things that the church, this is the time that the church has to be really relevant. And it is in times such as this that our relevance will show. And I have known you, as I said in the introduction, this is who you have been. Church, your approach to church has been holistic approach, dealing with the man, spirit, soul, and body. And an opportunity like this, you have come up to show the person that you are. And I'm so happy that the pastors that are just where the thing happened, and some of them have lost members, have lost property, lost everything. They are on Zoom right now, and that's why we didn't call all the pastors in Durban, but these ones that are on Zoom with you have been directly affected. So I'm so happy that, you are also on Zoom. So I'll try and, connect you with Pastor Wellington Lamini that is directly there in Amazon Toti, and then some of the affected areas, so that you guys, as you go there, even before you go, you can be in touch. And then so he works together with your team, and the larger the team, the better. We need every hand on deck to make sure that this thing happens. So Pastor Titus, I'm so excited, so happy. You can see some of the people that are there on Zoom. They are the directly affected ones that are already working there. So when you go to KZN, those are the people you're going to be seeing, you're going to be meeting and talking with. But it will be good, as I said, for you to already start connecting, chatting with them, apart from those that are directly in your fraternal, that are in your organization. And who knows, some of them will also end up, because since you just started last year, formally launched it, some of them may just be hearing about it now. And that's how it will get to expand. Because when I was there with you last year, I knew this is not just a thing for a few people. The whole of South Africa need to join that organization, because you're not about getting anybody into your church. You're about serving the people of South Africa. So it's a joy that we're able to have you on this broadcast. I don't know if any other person, maybe Pastor Lamini, I don't know whether you want to engage Pastor Titus to find out a few things.
I think as you said, Apostle Haruna, that we obviously going to connect, maybe offset and just find out, which direction they're taking and how they're working, so that we can, on our side, maybe give them some information as to where we are and which direction we believe that the Lord was leading us in terms of this. I think so that we can make sure that the strategies are sort of working hand in hand in terms of how we can help one another, where we can have strengths to be able to assist each one another to be able to move in a proper, concise direction. But definitely, we are open to have dialogue, to speak, to look at what they are proposing, what they are intending to do. Because one of the strategies that we have had, because we, as you rightly mentioned, the pastors that are here today, most of them are area leaders in various areas. So our strategy that we're using on our side, Pastor Stolle, was a strategy of where we would affect an area where we already have guardship. In other words, where we've got accountability, where we can, track people, have a repeat sort of a repeat assistance in that area. So where we can, on the ground, we've got a lot of knowledge in those areas on the ground. So that's the approach we had taken. For example, when building homes, or we are giving people gas stoves and food, and some are giving mattresses and blankets and all of that. The reason why we were targeting areas that we knew were the cluster of people that we know that were not affected, that are now able to go and be on the ground and be able to talk to different families and be able to see how they are doing even after the initial help, so that there's a constant connection between the parties. That is the route we had taken. We had not obviously, when the bishop's scale, the bishop has gone another scale, that's another level altogether. We had not gone on that scale, but our scale was more, okay, we've got these 5 or the 6 or the 7 areas that we believe we can go in there and we can make a real lasting impact on each individual household. That was the approach that we wanted to take. We just want to go there and maybe, we know, I definitely agree with Bishop when he says that it's not a matter of just, going there, leaving a box of food and you drive away. We were using an approach where, like yesterday, we had a team which went on the ground. We literally cleaned with the people. We gave them huge Jojo tanks. We gave them water. We went into from house to house and we cleaned that whole place full of mud from the floors all the way to the kitchens that were covered in mud. We had shovels and we cleaned that whole it's a huge area. So we went with a team of people. I don't know how many were, but we were a lot. And we went in there on a Sunday and we did that. And then obviously this week we are going back again to those same families and we are giving them, because the place were too dirty in any case. You couldn't even put a bed in there or a blanket. So we cleaned up first as priority number 1. Priority number 2 would have been then to go in there, give them a gas stove, give them the food parcels, because some of them were saying, we've got different food parcels from different churches, but we don't have anything to cook with. So we were more meeting your direct need versus just a blanket type of need. We will go to a family with information and forms. We find out what is in the need in this particular home. And then we can direct that need. We're going to have surgical targeting, and we can target that need so that when we meet the need of that individual, we'll meet it, if it's 5%, but it's 5% to the best of our ability and whatever we can provide. So based on, on that type of targeting and what the bishop is doing, we can definitely have dialogue behind the scenes and find out really how they are moving so that we can all move in one direction. Because at the end of the day, what we want and what the bishop wants and what you want, Apostle, is to help people. That's really just what it is. We want to help every man on the street, whether you're born again, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, it doesn't matter. If you're affected, we want to help you. We don't care where you come from, who you are, what you believe, who you pray to. We want to go there and say, we are the church. We are manifesting the kingdom, the glory, the power, the anointing. We are manifesting the kingdom of heaven in these areas. And when we come in there, we bring light to the people so that the kingdom of God can shine and people can indeed know. Because for me, ultimately, it's for the kingdom of God to have rulership in those places. So people can know that this is a church that is not going in there to see how many members they can get or how many people to give them food. So we want something in return. We don't want to prostitute them, but we want to go in there and we want to give them food, whether we'll ever meet them again or not. We want to help them, we want to shepherd them, we want to give them, we want to sow in their lives, and we want to turn their lives around. That's really our mandate for Boots on the Ground and for Operation Restore.
Wow, thank
wow, that's great. If I may say a word, Apostle Goro. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yes, I'll be coming to Durban on Wednesday. I have a meeting in the late afternoon with the Fraternal in Pinetown, and on Thursday I'll be going around. We've been working for 2 weeks with this Fraternal, and I'm meeting. I've been calling key leaders that I know in Durban just to inform them that we are coming, and it's not like mighty mighty people from Gauteng are coming to sort out KZN. We have people on the ground, and we also know that there are other ministries that are doing something. And so I would love to engage. And on Thursday, I will be meeting some of the leaders. But Wednesday, we have a meeting with our team there and the fraternal. And also for me to see and map out so that we would, when I come back with what we've been talking about, I've seen. And so I will get your contacts, and then we can see how we can connect.
Yes, that's fine, Apostle. I agree to that.
Okay then. So I have a recording to do at 9.
Okay, no problem.
So I might not be until you're done.
No, we are
I have a campaign
now. We are about to finish. You came in. I thought you got the Zoom link. I sent it during the day already, and so I thought maybe. But you are a busy man. To oversee all that you oversee, it's even a miracle to get you to connect now. So thank you, but we'll soon be done. I don't know if any of the other people on Zoom, the other pastors from the Durban area, you want to find out something from Bishop Sithole before we try and conclude and talk to our viewers on YouTube and Facebook. Anyone, you want to just say something before we work this thing to a close?
Pastor Sizwe in Pinetown.
Yeah, Apostle mentioned Pinetown, so I'm very much excited that the meeting can happen on this side. And you actually touched something that they word from the ground. When we visiting the families yesterday, they actually said, people, they came in, but it's different. You came in and we felt that you're there. But the fact that we're able to help and clean with them is actually something that stayed in. And I think just leaving the parcel is good, but actually being involved with the people and actually make sure that the houses are clean, they need what they need, actually you're part of it. It's something that is lasting. And you're not just doing it to tick and exercise, I've given to the community, then that is done. You're doing it because there is a purpose of it behind it. So I like the strategy. So let's see what else can we do as a bigger team and take it forward. The hands are needed on the ground. You had someone come and say, I had to hire the bobcat to clean my yard because the government is not coming. So those are things that are needed. People, they're taking long drive, going in different highways just to get to work because the roads are not clean. Those are the needs that are needed. Hands or any other thing that you can get, machinery to clean the road. That's what people they need right now. So thank you so much for this connection. And I believe there's something great coming, not only for Durban, not only for Pinetown, but South Africa as a whole, to see people coming together and just letting the goodness of God manifest in people's life. That's what church is expected to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other person before?
Yes, I'd like to intervene there as well, the same as Pastor Caesar from Say. You could see people there, you could see the happiness, the joy that they manifested with our presence there, because it didn't just start with distributing what we're carrying. It started with a prayer, started with worshiping together with them, regardless of their belief and all of those stuff. We prayed with them. We, after praying, then we started talking, we started chatting, and from the chat, from the talking, we could see that you could hear the needs, you could hear the concerns of the people there and there. And the presence of us as servant of God was a very big impact. It was one of them, not even one, more of them, they said that we've received gift from different people, but time, people giving us their time, we haven't received it yet. Especially for a day like today, you guys, you've got families to look after, you've got this and this to attend to, but you invested your time into our lives. They were more concerned about our presence there, somebody to sympathize with them, somebody to talk to, somebody to feel the way they were feeling. I think that's the other point that we need to consider. Thank you.
Any other person before we start wrapping up?
Yes.
I think we can wrap up, Bishop. We are good on our side.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Please, those of you that have joined us on Facebook and on YouTube, let's know where you're joining us from, where you have been, and thank you for connecting and being part of this. Please share this broadcast with your friends, with your family, with your neighbors. It's not just a KZN KwaZulu-Natal issue, is not a Durban issue. This is the kingdom of God. We need to shine our light now. We need to be relevant and offer a helping hand. Remember the story of the Good Samaritan. He did not do it because he knew that person as a member of his family. He did it because that person was a human being. And this is what this thing is all about. So thank you for joining. Let's know where this, we will play the video, the short video, just to conclude. And please copy the numbers and let the people know. I mean, to copy it, you can share it with friends. They have the email there. They've got the phone number you can call. They also got account number. And, these are credible people. Actually, Pastor Lamini, it's the, chartered accountant and a man of integrity working with a team of other pastors. And as you just heard, Bishop Titus Sitole that just joined now is also busy working. So we're all joining hands together to see how we can make a difference. So thank you very, very much for joining in on Facebook and on YouTube. We would love to connect with you again when we have another broadcast. I will also be in South Africa, I think from the 5th to about the 8th of May. I'll try and see if I can have a quick stop over just to see firsthand what's happening in the Durban area. I'll be in Pretoria, but I will try and see. But we'll see if we can do another broadcast, catch up with Bishop Sitole, find out what they are doing from their own end, but more so connecting with the people that are on ground in Durban, bring them online so that we connect with them and find out what is happening. So thank you very, very much for being part of this KZN Durban Floods Relief Initiative presented by Sure Destiny TV. We're an online television, and very soon you'll get to hear more from us. So thank you for joining today. And on behalf of my wife, Prophetess Titi Goro, who also encouraged this initiative for us to be able to do this. So next time, I believe you'll get to see her. But thank you, everyone, Pastor Lamini, and to the others that joined in, Bishop Sitole, thank you very much. So we'll just close up or playing the video clip, and it will be good night. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, Johan. Bye.
Bye, family.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. This is close.
Leave meeting.